today's lesson. Well, we've multiplied by whole numbers, we've multiplied by fractions, but today we're multiplying by mixed numbers. Yeah, a little more complicated. Now I wish, oh how I wish, that it was just as simple as, well, like taking the 7 times the 2, but it's not. And then multiplying your half times your 3. It's not that simple. We have to do something to these mixed numbers before we can actually multiply them. What do you think we have to do? No, we don't have to do that. That's only when we add or subtract. So lucky we don't have to do that. But we do have to do something else. Will, what do you think? Well, we could round them just to estimate and see if we're getting about the right answer. But what do we often do to a mixed number? Darius? That's right. We turn it into an improper fraction, and that's what we have to do today. So, how do you find the product of two mixed numbers? That is our question of the day. So, this clothing factory has 2 machines that make jackets. And these machines operate for 7.5 hours a day. So machine A washes this many jackets an hour. Machine B washes that many jackets an hour. So first of all, we need to know how many jackets can each machine make in one day. Well, what operation are we going to use? Dathan? We are going to multiply. We are going to multiply. So just by looking at those 2 machines, what machine do you expect is going to probably make more jackets in a day? Cole? B, because it's a larger number, right? I think that's a good idea. So if we wanted to know about how many, we can think about that and we can estimate. We can take 7.5 times machine A and 7.5 times machine B. So that's kind of like saying 7.5 is about 8. 2 3/4 is about 3. So it's going to make about 24 jackets. Our answer should be close to that. To find the actual answer, we have to take those mixed numbers and we have to make them into improper fractions. Yeah, but you all know how to do this. Remember? Like this and like this. Yeah. So we should have 15 over 2. Yep, there it is. Now 2 3/4, same thing. Multiply, add, there it is. Now we can actually do the problem. Yeah. So we have to do that before we can even attempt to do the problem. Okay? Now today, you're definitely going to want to use your cross-checking skills. It's going to be very helpful to you. So let's start with 2 3/4. Can you guys make that into a improper fraction for me? Dathan? 11 over 4. I'm going to rewrite it up here instead of over here. And then we have 8. How do we write 8 as a fraction? Aaron? Times 8 over 1. Now we can do this problem. Is there anything we could cross-check to make it easier? Nothing with the 11 and the 1, but how about with the 8 and the 4? Sarah, what's the largest number that would go into both 4 and 8?
4.
How many 4s are in this number?
1.
How many 4s are in this number?
2.
So now I can multiply my numerators, I can multiply my denominators, and I have an answer. Okay? Unfortunately, today, your answers aren't going to be quite so easy. They're probably going to be an improper fraction that once again you'll have to change back into a mixed number. I thought I was doing such a dynamic job that all of a sudden the skies were singing my praises. Not so, huh? Okay, let's not look at this. Let's take 4.5 and make it into an improper fraction. Kiara? There you go. Now it's fine with me if you do this part in your head. How about 1 1/4? America? Over what? Okay. Can we cross-check anything in that problem? No. We can't. So we're going to have to multiply our numerators and multiply our denominators. Brendan, 9 times 5? Okay. 2 times 4? Okay, why can't we just leave that alone and just circle it and be done? Alexis? Why can't we? It isn't simplified. It's an improper fraction. Now, if you can do this in your head, great. But if you can't, then you'll have to do the work. How many 8s go into 45? How am I going to write that as a mixed number? Sarah?
Big number 5 and 5 8.
There it is. There's your final answer. Right there. Okay. Are you guys ready to try some?
Yeah.
Will you please open up your iPad to a blank page? First problem. 4 3/5 times 2/3. Now, I'll tell you that writing down the problem is the easy part. Really, you can write it small and you can put it at the top because you're really not going to do much with it. 2/3 we can leave alone. We can copy it down here. But the 4 3/5, can someone help me and put that into an improper fraction? Kaden? 23 over 5. Okay, great. Now, can we cross-check any of these? Is there anything to cross-check, Aiden? No. So we have to multiply our numerators and multiply our denominators. Does anyone know 23 times 2 in their head? Dathan? How about 5 times 3 in their head? Sarah?
15.
Okay, now, I wish, oh how I wish we could leave this, but we can't. So, how many 15s are there in 46, Will?
2.
Nope, more.
3.
3. 3 times 15 is 45, and I have a leftover of 1. Now, how am I going to write that out, Will? Big number?
3.
Fraction?
4. 4 15.
Where do you see a 4?
And then 1.
1/15.
I'm really sloppy writing.
That's okay. Well, you better jazz it up so that you can read it better. 3 1/15, that's it. What do you think? Did everyone follow with me? We're going to do more examples just like this, and you are going to follow with me step by step. And then after a few, I'll let you try these on your own. Next problem. What would I do with the 6 to make it look like a fraction? Alan? Put a 1 under it. 6 over 1. Now let's go 2 2/7. How would we, what would that become if we made it an improper fraction? Sam?
7 over 2.
No, it stays over the same denominator. Okay? All right. Now we've got a problem to work on. Alan, you'll need to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. You can't leave it like that. You're going to think you can, but you can't, buddy. You can't separate the whole number from the fraction and try to do it your way. It won't work like that this time. So, can we do any cross-checking? No cross-checking this time. 16 times 6. Let me think. Aaron? 96 over 7. Done?
No.
It's improper. Will? Will? He's thinking. Darius? Nope, 4 is going to get, if you put a 4 here, that's 28. That's not going to work. So it's got to be what? 13. Yep, that'll work. So our final answer is? Why? Why was that hard? That wasn't hard. You guys did a great job on that. Let's try another one. Seven and 4/5 times 2 and 1/3. Before we can start, we have to change both of those. Now, for most of you, you're probably going to need 2 screens. Sarah, what's your first fraction?
39 over 5.
I hope that most of you are at least that far. Some of you are way too concerned about the color of the dumb marker. Who cares about that? This is what you should care about, not the marker. How about the next one? Dathan? 7/3. All right. Is there anything we could cross-check here? Uh-huh. What is it, Aaron? Lingen? That's right. What's the biggest number that'll go into both? How many 3s are in this? How many 3s are in this? Okay, now we can multiply our tops and our bottoms. Once you do it, check yourself with my board. Sam, how would I write this? One-fifth. 18 and 1/5 is correct. Good job. What do you think? Tough? Easy? I have a question for you. Where do you get stumped? Do you get stumped in trying to write the problem? Or do you get stumped in cross-checking? Or do you get stumped in making your answer into a mixed number?
Yeah.
Last one? Really? And we practice that so much. Okay. Are you ready for your next problem? This one you're all on your own.